Lonnie Brodeen. I live in Orono, Minnesota, which is near Minneapolis. Also, the location in Minneapolis is Minnehaha Falls. The cold and the day that I painted this was not too cold, in the 20s, so I set up my easel and my tripod and painted and photographed the falls as it was that day. Using computer software, Photoshop in particular, I began the process of layering the painting with several photographs and a scan palette or two that I used while I was painting.
Hi, my name is Denise Balcanov and I'm an artist from Bloomfield, Connecticut. I am so honored and thrilled to have had two pieces chosen for the Winter Palette exhibition at the Kavanaugh Gallery. My current medium is cold wax and oil paints. My work explores our connections to nature, each other, and the world around us. My intention is to reflect and express these connections and how I perceive them through color relationships, textures, and line. Using an array of tools, solvents, and pigment powders, I add and remove color and marks to create interesting layers of history in my paintings. The process of manipulating the paint to achieve these effects that I desire is always challenging and very rewarding. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Bill Carson of Bill Carson Photography in Tampa, Florida. My entry for the Winter Palette is a black and white photograph that I took early one morning in New York City's Central Park, well before all the crowds arrived. It was also after a fresh overnight snowfall. I named the picture Timeless because this scene would have looked the same in 1920 as it did when I took it just a few years ago. Thank you very much and enjoy the rest of the exhibition.
Hi, I'm Rachel with our Dietrich Photography, and the image I chose to enter into the Winter's Palette at Kavanaugh Gallery was Winter's Art. I captured this image in Yellowstone in the winter of 2021, and Yellowstone's a bit overwhelming, especially for artists, because there's a lot of beauty there, and sometimes we overlook the little details, and those can be just as intriguing and beautiful as the grand landscapes. And I hope you enjoy this image as much as I did, and as much as I did creating it and my time in Yellowstone. Yellowstone in the winter is pretty spectacular, and as a Midwesterner, I actually love winter. So I hope you get a little bit of that out of this image. Thanks, enjoy.
My name is Tracy Finn, and I'm an artist based in Warwick, New York. I like to combine my acrylic paintings, my watercolor paintings, handwritten letters. I also do a lot of close-up photography, and I layer up my collages. What I love about encaustic in this process is you're able to see through the layers once the encaustic medium is on and they're heated up. Cerulean was specifically using a winter color palette, hues of various blue colors, and I combine them with some warm hues that are sort of reminiscent of the early 1960s colors when I was growing up. And to me, those colors say winter.
I'm Chris Fowler, the photographer for Lander in Winter, and I figured rather than just be another talking head with a picture in the background, I'd come back to the location. Lander is a little river town on the Potomac River. Washington's that way, Harper's Ferry is that way. We're about halfway between the two of them on the Maryland side of the river. The steep hillside there is such that there comes a point during the day when the hill itself goes into shadow, but the sun still picks out the tops of the trees and also anything along the shoreline. I just happen to be here at the right time. The camera I use is a 35-year-old Ricoh film camera with a zoom lens. All of my shots are handheld. Like Cartier-Bresson, I don't so much take pictures as they take me. So I recognize what's in front of me, and using a camera, I try to convey the experience to my audience.
Hi, my name is Dennis Gordon, and I am a printmaker, primarily doing woodcuts. What you see in this initial photo is one of the carved or etched wood plates. I use a Baltic birch. This is about 18 by 24 inches. And then down below here, you see the print from that plate. So the little roller that you see here, I ink up with black ink, roll the ink on the wood plate. Wherever you see the image carved is where it doesn't print. So that would be the white space, and a piece of paper is put on top of the wood plate and rolled through this printmaking press, which presses the paper into the plate, transfers the ink to the paper, and you have your woodcut. I often take one extra step, and that is I start off with a blank piece of paper, roll either a variety of inks on it or just one color as a background, and then when that dries, then I ink up the wood plate and print it on top of the kind of colored background. So the one you see here in front is an example of some kind of light blues and pinks and purples where the image is printed on top of that. The other way of doing it is multiple plates, and this woodcut in the show of the oak leaves in the winter is an example of two separate plates, one plate for the black part of the image and one plate for the kind of orange color. And then these are some examples of, again, a background rolled on and then the woodcut printed on top of it.
Hi, I'm David Gregory from Peoria, Illinois. Both of these images have special meaning to me. My grandparents' only source of water was a well, and I really enjoyed as a child pumping that handle and getting the fresh, cold water that came from below. The root cellar was also fascinating to me in that it was cold and dark and underground, and inside there were wrinkly skinned apples and potatoes with wild roots growing out of them. Both paintings are done in a transparent watercolor technique, meaning that I build up the color with multiple thin washes, and then I don't use white paint. The white that you see is the white of the paper itself. Enjoy the exhibition.
Hi, I'm Pam Hanson from Spring Valley, Illinois. This is my piece, Winter Solstice. I'm thrilled to have this at the Fine Line Creative Arts Winter Palette exhibit in the Kavanaugh Gallery. My work is acrylic. I always seal my paintings with epoxy resin. I just think it makes the colors pop. I hope you enjoy it as much as I do.
I'm from Lindenhurst, New York, and I'm very honored to have had 3 of my photographs selected for the Kavanaugh Gallery's Winter Palette exhibit. I've been photographing since 1985 and have basically remained unchanged since that time. I take all of my photos on black and white film, and I process them in my home darkroom using old-fashioned chemicals and papers and enlargers. I believe that you can find beauty anywhere, and I often go out randomly in an effort to find it in all seasons. And the fact that I have 3 photos in this is proof of that, because they were all taken in the dead of winter in New York, and all 3 of them were taken under brutally cold and snowy conditions. I hope you enjoy them.
Hello, I'm Mary Ellen Seagrapes, an artist living in St. Charles, Illinois. Having lived in the Midwest for most of my life, I've been through many winters, and actually I find winter to be quite beautiful. So I was thrilled to be included in the Fine Lines Winter Palette Show. I work in watercolor and try to show more of a impressionistic view of a scene as opposed to a realistic view. One of my paintings that's in the show is titled Snowed In. And again, if you've lived in the Midwest, you've probably had that experience of being snowed in before. And it's not all bad. It sometimes gives us a chance to disconnect from the pressures of our daily lives, and it can be quite peaceful. So I hope you enjoyed the show, and thanks much for listening.
Hi, I'm Gina Wolfram. This is Frosted Rocks. I'd like to tell you a little bit about it. One summer as a 7-year-old, I almost drowned in a lake on a family outing. My father saved me, but I've never been able to overcome my fear of drowning. Because of that, most of my landscapes have an element of water, which holds a special connection of both admiration and fear. My paintings also incorporate actual crystals, glass chips, and gemstones. Their sharp edges represent both danger and beauty. The sparkle of water is inspiring and terrifying at the same time to someone who can't swim. Imagine breaking through this frozen creek bed. My process of determining the placement and color of each crystal onto the painting is a form of healing therapy. I encountered the greatest breakthrough in creativity when I began using natural minerals, glass, and gemstones in my paintings. Paint alone is too limiting. By opening the door to these materials, the possibilities became endless with the juxtaposition of paint and stony textures. Frosted Rocks has glass, mica, tourmaline, obsidian, and blue quartz. This frozen creek bed brings texture, color, and sparkle to wherever you place it.
Hello, my name is Tracy Zachikowski, and I am an artist residing in the beautiful state of Colorado. I love to create really colorful animal portraits. So I really believe that animals are magical. And I believe that if you're with a dog or you're out in the wild and you come across an animal, there's something magical about that moment. And I really want to share that moment and that magic and just that joy with the viewer. I am sharing some beautiful winter portraits. So the first one is called Snow Bear. And what I love about this image is I feel like it's not just sharing the magic of the animal and the bear, but I really feel like there's this moment of magic that's really being shared in this image. I love how sometimes when you're outside, for me, it's always outside in the wilderness and it's snowing and you just have this moment of just feeling like the world is this magical place. And I really feel that this is this moment that this bear is in. He's not hibernating yet, and he's just, in this moment of magic. I used really colorful colors because I believe that winter isn't just about the blues and the soft colors that we're used to seeing, but it can be vibrant and it can be full of life. This piece, Powder Day, is very special to me and my family because it features our golden retriever, Blue. And this is, the moment of joy of winter when you get a whole bunch of snow and you're just, living it to the max, which Blue demonstrates very well in this image. So I hope you love my art. I hope you find some joy, and I hope you enjoy the show.
Congratulations, Mirka, on your honorable mention. I was intrigued by not only the composition and materials used, but also the story that you wrote about the small bird. Congratulations, Dale, on your honorable mention. You have a wonderful piece here. It has a wonderful feeling of life to it. Unfortunately, being from Chicago, I've been in this situation many times. You've captured it well. Congratulations, Howard, on your honorable mention. I love the fact that film is still being used. I'm from the old school myself, and the slightly shaky hand is what really turned my head. Thank you for presenting this piece. Congratulations, Gayatri, on your honorable mention. You have a wonderful piece here, and what really attracted me was the subtleties of focus. Congratulations, Joan, on your honorable mention for Catch Me If You Can. I really enjoyed the humor in it and the fact that you chose something that most people would just walk right by. Thank you. Phyllis, congratulations on your Award of Merit for Free. This was a wonderful piece. I enjoyed looking at it, and as soon as I looked past the boat, I felt free. It was a wonderful depiction of winter. Thank you. Congratulations, Karen, on your Award of Merit for Santa Lucia. This was a wonderful piece. I love the symmetrical design and the story behind it that you wrote in your description. Thank you. Congratulations, Jean, on your Award of Merit for Hiver 6. I was attracted so much to this by the use of materials. It's a absolutely unique piece for me to see, and thank you so much for contributing. Congratulations, William, on your Best of Show. This is a wonderful piece. I enjoyed and traveled around inside it so long. Your shadows are so wonderfully done that they invite you right in.